How many more days is it till Halloween? I should know this. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more days till Halloween. 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 4 more days to Halloween. Something to Silver Shamrock. I don't know. We're talking about the Halloween movies, and I'm going to tell you right up front, I am not a big fan. I have not watched a lot of them. I've watched one all the way through, and it was Halloween 3, and I actually really liked it. And so my favorite of the Halloween movies is Halloween 3. However, our guests also have a healthy love of this franchise, and they like the other movies too. So, and John Carpenter is a genius, one of my favorite directors and writers by far, and writers of film movies. Themes. I just love him. Welcome to the new channel. Raphael is here. My guests are here. It is time to light this candle.
Fair use, having fun, you know. Giving comments and reviews, and it's covered by fair use. Fair use, fair use, having fun.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
It's time for the show. What am I calling myself in this one? Capt'n John here. I won't lie to you. I'm fresh from a nap, and by fresh, I mean still half asleep. So I've got green tea. I've got you. I've got the Halloween movie trailers. I've got I've got Commander Joe Townsville. How are you, Commander Joe?
Well, Captain John, I am great. I dare say that had you been available and around when they made Halloween 3 Season of the Witch and sang that song, it would have made a lot more money at the box office, my friend.
You are so kind. My goodness, what a wonderful man you are. And Raphael is appreciating us as well. He appreciates my jazz hands. He appreciates your expression on the thumbnail.
Thank you, Raphael.
And we have our guest, our go-to guy when it comes to horror films, and he's a genius. I love our guest, my good friend Mario from way back in the day, and he goes by the name El Tiburon, also Retro Tiburon.
What's up, guys? John and Joe, thanks for having me again.
Always. I'm so thrilled you're here to what I've come to consider our slasher trilogy, because we started with of course Friday the 13th, moved on to Freddy, now we got Michael Myers.
Yeah.
I cannot help but admire your shirt.
Oh, yes.
Check this out.
Look at that.
What $10 will get you at Walmart, you know? You can't even get like a Big Mac meal at McDonald's for $10, but look.
Oh, that's an extraordinary deal at twice the price.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Decorate much. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I never decorate my room. You don't give me any crap. Let's not give any crap at all to El Tiburon for his ability to. Oh my God, look at that.
Speaking of decorations, check this out.
That's amazing.
There's our second guest.
And I got him right here too.
Oh my goodness! Now I'm scared.
I crack up at this one because he kind of looks like Bill Maher a little bit.
And
Yeah.
can I say, having met Bill Maher, actual size.
Oh, really?
Shots fired at Bill Maher.
Bill Maher he has the tiniest hands I have ever seen on a grown-up. He was a smoker when I met him, and those cigarettes looked gigantic in his hands. It's very funny. But he's created a lot of work and a lot of jobs, and I was working with him on a preview for his old Comedy Central thing, and he only hired guys over 6'4" to be with him in the commercial. So I gotta give him that. Like, he's aware he's not a tall man. And he does know it's funny if he's dealing with tall men. I wonder if I could ever find that promo. It was for Politically Incorrect on Comedy Central.
Oh, we gotta see that if you can find
That'd
it.
be a fun watch. Yeah.
I can never remember these things that I did because so many of them happened in the 90s. And let's face it, that was a little while ago. It's like me having memories of being on live TV in the 50s. It happened, but not a lot of people who were there are still around. We have got, let's see, we got a brand new commercial we'd like to show you, El Tiburon. This is a commercial for joetownsel.com, and both Joe and I would love to hear what you think of this. Raphael, I think you've seen this one, but anybody who's watching, we would love to hear your opinion of this commercial. Here we go.
My boyfriend is a chef with so much skill. He'll fix delicious dishes and I'll eat my fill. There's hardly anything he can't broil or fry, and there's so many recipes he wants me to try. Yummy for my tummy, savory or sweet. My baby likes to cook and I love to eat. Love that man, wraps himself around me like bacon on spam. It's such a treat. My baby likes to cook and I love to eat.
Oh, this one's my favorite. This shot. Oh, thanks again, John. The more it just gets more disturbing as we go.
El Tiburon, thumbs up or thumbs down?
That's like Siskel and Ebert. 2 thumbs up right there.
Oh, all credit goes to John, him and his AI partnership, which does about, I'm going to say 5% of the work. He does the other 95. John does.
You are far too kind, sir. But I will say that we got to get to the point where we put up these full songs, because I have to cut the songs down, to fit a minute commercial format. But yeah, I enjoy it so much.
We are working toward that Joe Townsell soundtrack album, so
exactly. Available this Christmas, and you know what? Available for free, because I'm not allowed to sell AI creations. So there you go.
Oh, there you go. Free's always good.
Free's good. So you're getting something free. You're getting a free gift from Retro Rangers and the Weber Internet thingy. Let's see. And one more thing we want to tell you about on that subject. Oh my gosh, we are so excited. This is something that Joe and I have been talking about for months. We are finally going to do it. We are going to debut a new program, Joe Townsell's Dread Time Stories, starring the one and only Joe Townsell as he reads to you from his writings. This one is extra special because, Joe, this one hasn't been published yet, has it?
That is correct. As you look at the graphic here, it is a story from my forthcoming Horror Springs Eternal collection that will be available in early 2025. And yes, I will be treating everyone to a story preview from this collection. And I also want to point out that for people that are saying, wait a minute, what about Retro Trekkers? That's my go-to for Saturdays. Well, just know that this is going to be roughly a monthly, every 4 to 5 weeks. Retro Trekkers, of course, filling in the time the rest of the time.
Yeah, we're Retro Trekkers is and it's doing really well. I don't know if you've been looking at the numbers on Retro Trekkers, Joe, but
Sure,
they're good numbers.
yeah.
We are breaking 3 figures, and for the Weber Internet thingy, that's a pretty big deal.
That's great. I just want to make sure people realize this is going to be an occasional treat mixed in with Retro Trekkers.
Indeed it is. So that, and I do want to do one more plug. Just one more plug. Why not? Coming up this week, just as we did with El Tiburon, by the way, last year.
Yes.
We did a live listen party of War of the Worlds as done by the Mercury Theater and the brilliant Orson Welles. And it is a legendary, my gosh, it is so old at this point. It was from 1938.
What is that, about 86 years or something like that?
Your math is so much better than mine. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. One of the friends that we have come on the show occasionally, like El Tiburon, Mike Sauter, has done extensive research on all of the actual factual history of this broadcast, the broadcast that panicked the world in 1938. And then there is a more modern theory of no, it didn't. And Mike Sauter is really ruling the facts from the fiction. And that will happen in a sort of sandwich, if you will. At 6:30 p.m. we start the pre-show. At 7 p.m. if you just want to hear the radio show itself, join us at 7. And if you want to stick around for the half hour after the show, it's a 1-hour show. If you want to stick around afterwards, we will discuss even more of the details of this broadcast, as in what was the aftermath and what do we know now? Because I'm telling you, there were a lot of made up stories around this actual incredibly factual happening. And we're going to try to bring you all the details, because one of the things that I've always wanted to do was a documentary about this, and Mike has done all the work. So if you're available to join us from 6:30 on the Pacific Coast to 8:30 when it will end, or 9:30 on the East Coast, and then all the way to 11:30, you'll catch the conversation, the show, and the rest of the conversation. But if you just want to show up for the show, which I know a lot of people like to do on Halloween, I want to provide that to you too. So that could be from 10 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern, or here on the West Coast where we're coming from, that would be 7 p.m. Pacific to 8 p.m. Pacific. But that is this coming Thursday night. And we hope to see you there.
John, I congratulate you for getting all the time straight in that promo. I was standing by ready to gently correct you.
I appreciate it all. I appreciate your recognition of me not screwing it up this time. I appreciate you always being there, like Bullwinkle with the giant tub of water ready to catch me, like I'm Rocket J Squirrel flying through the air. But
I do encourage everyone, if you can spend the time, the whole 2 hours will be just the complete experience. I mean, I know Mike's going to come with a lot of great information. I mean, if you're like me, if you tune in occasionally to Turner Classic Movies, you see the guy that comes on the beginning, comes back at the end. That just adds to the experience. So please, I would definitely encourage everyone to come from the very beginning to the very end.
And Mike will be there to answer questions as well, because a lot of people want to know the real story and want to have like a relationship with reality when it comes to this, because there were a lot of people who told a lot of lies about this broadcast, and we're going to be there to try to reveal the truth. So love doing that. Here we go, fellas. We are. Oh my God, we're 15 minutes in.
That's okay. We're ready for some Michael Myers action.
You got to get those plugs in, John. You got to get, you got to get them in. Yeah.
I don't often feel like the commercials are part of the programming that I watch, but I do on this show.
It's the good housekeeping. It's the housekeeping. You got to take care of the housekeeping first.
That's true. I mean, there wouldn't be a Weber internet thingy if people weren't watching, all the shows. So we appreciate what people do.
Well, of course, and although we're talking zero money on Weber internet thingy as far as money coming in, I will put it like Mario puts it on the retro wave. Got to pay the bills.
You got to pay the bills, right?
Now here we go. That's right. Usually they say we got to keep the lights on, and I've been kicked off the air so much lately. It really looks like I don't keep the lights
on. we will proceed cautiously.
What can I say? I enjoy showing things that copyright laws say I shouldn't be able to show. It's not fair. We're a review and react channel. It's not fair. Anyway, here we go. Oh, you know what? I want to give some credit to the maker of this clip. So the Indie Diary, and I'm going to subscribe. I never hit notifications. So sorry, I'm not hitting the bell. The Indie Diary has put up the trailers for 10 Halloween movies, and we're going to be watching those, and we're going to start there. Let's give it a try, and tell me if this piece of music, tell us in the chat if this piece of music sounds familiar, because it is iconic. All right, do I have the sound up? Okay, good. All right.
Halloween night. A small American town. 15 years ago.
Scared already.
It's like you're wearing the mask.
We didn't see her, but the young lady just killed was a Playboy playmate at the time.
Was she?
Really? Oh, was she?
Yep.
The sister of Michael, right? In the movie.
That's right.
Halloween. I spent 8 years trying to reach him.
Donald Pleasant.
And then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's
I think his
eyes was purely and simply
salary took up about 25% of the total movie budget.
Oh, really?
He was definitely the heavy hitter at the time.
I think he'll come back.
Exploring uncharted territory.
Totally charted.
Laurie Strode.
Sure. The only reason he babysits to have.
Now, originally, Laurie and the PJ Souls character they wanted to reverse the roles because that was closer to their actual personalities.
Oh.
Jimmy the Curse is more outgoing and PJ Souls was less.
I think they made the right choice to keep it as is.
I think so too. Play against type.
Okay. Come on out.
Oh, crap. Hey, when that happened.
Oh, look at that. Look at that shot.
Oh. Watch out, William Shatner.
There goes the iconic theme right there.
Was this the actual trailer? Because we're kind of getting the whole movie.
Dude, don't say that. I'm getting so much trouble.
I think some of the old trailers show a lot. That's why.
Yeah. Well, new ones do too, for that matter. But
yeah, that's true. I will say that these cleared it through copyright filters, so I think we're okay on that.
She's watching The Thing, isn't she? Right there.
Yes, and of course, what did John Carpenter direct later? The remake.
Yeah.
He came home.
Very simple. Very simple. Yeah.
You saw the little pumpkin that started.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me, gentlemen, what did you think? What was the experience like when you first watched Halloween 1? When did you see it, and what was it like? Yeah, let's start with you, our guest, El Tiburon.
Yes, please.
So to be honest, I think because I'm such a Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th fanboy. You know how sometimes you pick a camp?
Yes.
No pun intended. So I picked Jason's camp. I'm like, oh, I'm team Jason. I can't like this Bill Maher looking guy over here. Like, no, and especially because Michael and Jason are so similar. They're both slashers. They don't talk. You don't see their face. They're
Yes.
killing machines. I was like, oh, I'm with Jason. I can't watch this guy. It wasn't until I met my wife, and she doesn't really like horror movies.
Yeah.
That she's like, I love Halloween. It's like one of the
Oh.
only horror movies she likes. So we
Oh.
started. I don't think I watched it until like my when did we meet? Early 30s. And I was like, damn, this movie is awesome. And I
But
was
now-
like, okay, I'm sold on this movie. This movie's awesome.
Wow. Now you had seen other John Carpenter movies up to that
I
point,
had seen,
right?
yeah, like They Live. I had seen The Thing. You know, I was just so like a fanboy, like a little
Yeah.
fanboy. You know, oh no, I can't watch Halloween. I'm a Friday the 13th guy, but you know, I was only, you know, I was just being a dummy pretty much because how that first Halloween, I don't think there's any Friday the 13th movie that can touch the original Halloween as far as like overall great movie.
Right.
I can admit that even as a Friday the 13th fan. So yeah, watching it's an awesome movie. It's like a must watch for Halloween.
And had it ever occurred to you that this was the first? I mean, there had been like slasher movies earlier, but this was the first that really broke through in popular culture because I was in high school when this came out.
Yeah, because this was 1978.
Yeah.
I think the
Right.
first Friday the 13th was like 81, I think.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
memory. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he was before Halloween was before Friday the 13th. So yeah, this is one of the pioneers. And Psycho too, you know. Psycho was what was that, 60 something?
That's
It was
right.
I don't
1960.
think Psycho gets a lot of credit, but the true first like monster slasher was Halloween. for
Right.
sure.
And it was very low budget. It had the music was done by John Carpenter. It was very much a John Carpenter project. And as you guys had pointed out, Donald Pleasance was a well-known actor. He had been in a lot of movies at this point. And so getting him was kind of a big deal. That is sort of the horror movie way. Get yourself a big name, But Jamie Lee Curtis is also a big name because her parents were Jennifer Lee and Tony Curtis.
Tony Curtis.
And this was the movie that, like they say, like introducing. So this was her first movie. This was like her, coming out ball. For
I don't think she literally did nothing before. This was her debut.
And her parents were very well known. So a lot of people were like, oh, who's this youngster? And the previously mentioned PJ Souls at this point had done some really amazing movies, but very culty. I'm trying to remember. I don't think Stripes had come out at this point.
No, but what she did prior to this was Carrie. She was one of the mean girls in Carrie.
Oh, big deal, Carrie. Oh, yeah. Holy cow. I always forget Carrie. But yeah, that was and Brian De Palma and a lot of great actors in that. Travolta was in there, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Travolta and Nancy Allen played the really big heavies in Carrie.
Yeah, yeah. So there was kind of a landscape for this, and people were kind of ready for it. And I loved how creeped out my friends were by it, but I just didn't like that kind of movie. I just didn't like the, someone's going around cutting people up.
Well, I read somewhere in researching this week's show a bit is that so Raphael, absolutely, Jamie Lee was and remains the scream queen as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah.
But that somebody was shown I guess a rough cut of the movie with no soundtrack, no music.
Oh,
which of course Carpenter wrote.
Right.
And they said the movie doesn't even, at least for that person and other persons, didn't even resonate as being anything scary. But once the music was behind it, it suddenly took on a whole new life as a scary flick.
That's true. and there had been some great scary movies with great music, specifically The Exorcist with Tubular Bells. There's very much a sense of this repeating theme, this electronic sounding theme that goes around and around. And that's, John Carpenter is not a trained musician, so it's kind of amazing that he can play that. I do love that about his movies when he does the music, because it sounds a little like one man and a Casio making magic, but I still like it. Hey, my buddy Richard Martell is here.
Oh,
He
great.
says, 2 thumbs up, would watch again, grabs you from the get-go and takes you on a wild ride of the imagination. And if I remember, Richard, I don't know if you saw it in high school or if you saw it later, but definitely clear me up on that, because if he was going to that movie, I'm sure I said no.
I just find it disturbing that right now El Tiburon is playing with his Michael Myers doll.
He keeps trying to like escape. I don't know. He's trying, being shifty. Was that the model, Richard Martell?
That Richard Martell is my friend from childhood. We met when we were 11 years old. He is not arrogant. He is not Rick the Hammer, though we do call him Rick. And let's take a look. Okay, so I also want to kind of start getting into this. What would happen with the expansion of the Halloween universe? Halloween 2 is kind of unique. And let me set you up for that one, El Tiburon. How does Halloween 1 end, and how does Halloween 2 begin?
So Donald Pleasance, Dr. Loomis shoots Michael. He falls off the balcony. And I think in the second movie, he lets you know over and over, I shot him 6 times, Michael. I shot him 6 times. And I guess Donald Pleasance, Dr. Loomis, goes to look for Michael at the end of Halloween 1. Surprise, Michael Myers is gone. The movie ends there. Next movie, they're still looking for, I think it's like the same night. They're looking for Michael.
Well, that was the tagline, more of the night he came home.
Which is kind of, there's like a guy wearing the exact same Michael Myers outfit somehow, and he gets killed like in a car accident, and the car explodes. I'm like, how did that happen? Like, how did this guy know, like, oh, this is a cool outfit, let me just wear the same exact outfit that this Michael Myers guy is wearing, even though we just found out about him today, like tonight.
In all the research that I've done on Halloween, how does that happen? That question comes up constantly.
There's a lot of that for sure in this series. So yeah, it's pretty much, I call this one like Halloween in a hospital. The whole movie is just in a hospital. Yeah, it's just Michael Myers looking for Laurie Strode in the hospital.
Now I could be mistaken, but I think this might be the only Halloween movie that takes place at least partially after Halloween, technically, because half of it takes place on November 1st after midnight.
So.
Interesting, but this makes this on All Saints Day, right? Is that the day after Halloween?
It is. It's All Hallows Eve and then followed by All Saints Day. So,
all right, let's take a look now. At this point, historically speaking, Halloween has been a huge success, a cultural phenomenon. People are just, so excited for the next one, and it does pick up right where the previous one ends. So let's take a look at this trailer.
I shot him 6 times.
There you go, Mario.
I shot him 6 times.
Universal Pictures presents 2 more of the night he came home.
More.
Who is it?
Oh man!
Neither conscience nor
I think they recreate a scene like that in Halloween 2018.
Some kind of a joke. I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight. You don't know what death
I'm sorry, Mario. What was that?
Oh, I just said they recreate that same scene in the 2018, that kitchen scene with the butcher knife.
Oh yes, you're right.
There is no place to hide. He will always find you.
How come when there's like a slash in the hospital, there's like nobody there?
What's this?
Minimal staff.
It's a Celtic word. It means the Lord of the Dead.
I think they said they used the same mask too, but it had been under someone's bed or something for a year. So that's why it looks like all jacked up. Michael's mask.
And it smells of mattress farts.
Yeah.
I had no idea that he was a slasher when it came to tires too.
See? He's a well-rounded killer.
No babysitter is safe. No tire is safe.
I think wasn't the original Halloween going to be called The Babysitter Murders or something like that?
I saw that in trivia recently.
Yeah.
You're right. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, that is untrue.
It is untrue?
Yes, that is untrue because the guy who pitched the idea to John Carpenter had always said he wanted it on Halloween and he wanted it to be called Halloween because he was hoping to create a movie that people would watch every single Halloween.
Well, he succeeded.
That's some smart marketing right there.
Yep.
All right, so there's Halloween 2. You know, one thing I wanted to mention too, and again, we're probably going to overlap each other a lot on trivia and other points of discussion, but I guess Shatner was not thrilled initially with the use of his image on the mask, and I guess actually got an out-of-court settlement.
Oh, my.
You know, later on upon suing, but it's kind of interesting because technically it wasn't a William Shatner mask; it was a Captain Kirk mask. To which he did not own the IP, you know, so he was not the one to sue for it anyway.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Hey, Tylord's with us.
Hey, Tylord.
Lord. What's up, Tylord?
What's up, brother? Yeah, that is so interesting because William Shatner's definitely one of those guys who's like, give me my money.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been through some tough times in his career, so I totally get that. But that is a very good point, Joe. If it's the character you played, you don't own that intellectual property. So there was something there. But I imagine John Carpenter sitting on a giant pile of dollar bills just goes, all right, Bill, here's some. There you go.
Well, in production time, I'm going to guess 77 or so, you know, at that point. Shatner wasn't far removed from living in his station wagon, so I can imagine he'd want to go after that money.
Yeah, that's the Shatner I always remember. The guy who at one point was living in his car, because that shapes you. When you go through those, people could back me up on this. When you go through those hard times, that definitely changes you.
Oh, yes.
And it shapes how you're dealing with life from that point on. All right. Are we ready to look at my absolute favorite out of the...
Well, we are, and I got plenty to say about it when we're finished. I know Mario does too.
I have.
Yeah, I got my feeling.
Good. Your feelings are so valid here. Everyone's feelings are valid here. And my feeling, as I've already shared, is that I really like Halloween 3. I know it's not valid to most people, but I appreciate you guys listening to it. Here is Halloween 3.
Happy Halloween.
Technically, this is Halloween 3, the season of the witch.
That's correct. Oh no, insects out of the mouth.
Oh yeah. Now it's getting creepy.
Oh, eyeballs in the skull.
Halloween 3, season of the witch.
Yeah, Tylord loves this.
Okay. So you know what? Oh wait, we're not done yet. Guys. Make sure.
Oh, yeah. There's the song
You
Silver
don't really
Shamrock.
know much about Halloween.
Hey, it's a guy from RoboCop.
The barriers will be down between the real and the unreal.
Is this the guy that gets shot by Ed 209? The high rise?
No, yeah, the big boss. The old man.
Yeah, he's Ronnie Cox's boss.
You happen to know anything about this Cochran?
And we love this
All I can
actor.
tell you,
There's
Mr.
no denying that.
Watch out. He's watching you, friend. I guarantee you that.
Hey, Mr. Cochran, just what is the final process? Fellas, I was just getting it.
Witchcraft. To us, it was a way of controlling our environment.
Hey!
Warning, there will be. Oh,
Where are they
my.
taking her? They're taking her to the factory.
I know why John likes this one. A lot of sci-fi in it.
Just what I had in mind for you.
A lot of sci-fi stuff in it.
Do I need a reason?
I've got nothing here to indicate there was ever a body at all.
Operator, this is an emergency.
A little bit understated performance.
I do love a good joke, and this is the best ever. The joke on the children. I'm glad you'll be able to watch it.
You've got to believe me.
Did every dad back in the day have one of those brown Al Bundy jackets? Seems like so many adults on TV wore those back in the day.
that was the members only jacket, and it was considered sophisticated. Yeah, you're absolutely right. My God, I just
What movie did I see? It was Shallow Hal. She asked him, "Are you the last member?" He's still wearing his members only in like the 90s.
That title looks cool.
Well, they
fonts.
really had their stuff together when they got to 3. They really knew what they were doing.
All right, let's open up that can of worms.
Yeah, PJ Souls was from Stripes. Who's your friend? Who's your daddy?
Where's my spatula?
Oh man, she was so cute. Raphael says the public had high expectations for the return of Michael Myers. The box office suffered. You are absolutely right, my friend. This movie was an oddity. And guys, what was your reaction to this movie when you did get to see it?
Remember in Living Color, what was it? Damon Wayans and the other David Allen Greer hated it when I first saw it. I did not like this movie, but I think, John, a lot of people love this movie. A lot of Halloween fans love this movie. I'm sorry, I don't get it. Like, it's not
Joe,
my.
how did you feel?
Yeah,
I think it might have actually been developed, not initially intended to be a Halloween sequel.
Right.
Now that could be just my assumption, but the one thing I really want to say about Season of the Witch, because one thing that we don't have tonight, which we had on the previous 2 installments of our slasher trilogy, was that there was no resulting TV series.
Right.
And I think part of the reason for that is because Halloween 3 was meant to be the first of, they were basically going to make the Halloween series an anthology, which is what a TV series would have been.
Exactly.
And when they saw that it didn't perform well, they said, no, we're not going to go there. Now, for what it is, I'm with John. I think it's entertaining. It's fun. I mean, I have to say, it makes no logical sense. We're going to control the world by killing them and have spiders crawl out of their mouths. But that part of it was pretty creepy. I never liked insects coming out of the mouths. I don't like eye gore, But as the Halloween sequel, it's like it was really an oddity, like you say, and for most, a return to form when we went back to good old Michael from part 4 onward.
Right. So do you guys remember, I don't know when you were little kids, if they had, I think they were called snakes, and it was a little kind of, it wasn't like a firecracker, but it was sort of like that. And you would put heat on it and it would go like, and all this sort of like dirty shaving cream or something would.
Yeah, you get it as part of your safe and sane firework collection,
And that's what I always thought that the masks were doing. Like they were causing like this creepy, stuff to come out of the victims' faces based on this television signal, which trying to remember. I think when I saw this, I had already seen Videodrome. No, I'm sorry, Videodrome. Videodrome was a show I used to do. Videodrome, where a signal over TV would like transform people and like mutate them. So that was kind of cool. I liked that. I liked the hero. I really should have written his name down. I can't remember the actor's name. He was fantastic. I
think we saw him in something not long ago.
He rejoins the Halloween movies later.
Interesting. Different character though, right?
Different character because you know he's from a different universe with the Silver Shamrock thing. But if you guys get a chance to see Halloween 3, especially if you've eschewed it, you know, if you say, "Oh, I'm definitely not going to watch that," I would say watch it, because this was John Carpenter's attempt at saying, "We've done it. We already did Halloween, and I don't want to take away from it. It is what it is." And it's done. Halloween 1 and then Halloween 2, and it's done. So now we're just going to tell other Halloween stories. And you're right. It did so poorly. And all the money men at the studio over at Universal were like, what? We paid for something that isn't going to make money? What? You better go get our money.
And get that William Shatner mask out from under the mattress.
Michael Myers does make an appearance. Remember, there's like someone they're watching TV, I think, and it's
they're watching Halloween.
Yeah, it's kind of meta because there's like the clerk is watching Halloween, so you see Michael Myers on the TV.
That's an excellent point, Tiburon, because they create a universe in which the movie Halloween exists as a movie. It wasn't like a real story. I love that. I also love that in the original movie they're watching The Thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Season of the Witch actually, for with varying results, started a few things. I believe that was one of them where we actually saw that meta universe, as John describes it, where we're seeing the Halloween movie, the first one, within this one. Also, the whole sending a dreaded signal to take people over. I mean, we saw that later in The Lawnmower Man.
Good point.
Which was a kind of a crappy adaptation of a Stephen King story. Then we saw Stephen King write about it in Cell, which was also turned into a crappy adaptation. But the theme, kind of took root for a while.
Richard is saying that the Townsville commercial did that to him.
Oh, well, then I've done my job. Thank you, Richard.
that makes me feel good too.
It should, because there's the brains right there behind it.
Raphael did my research for me. That's Tom Atkins.
There you go.
And he does appear in multiple John Carpenter films.
Who I just saw him in? It was not on our show. I just watched recently again, and this is something I definitely recommend for schlocky horror.
Yeah.
Night of the Creeps.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
I was gonna say, I think he's in there, right?
He's like the same thing. He's like the detective trying to get down to the brass tacks. And if you want to see a good old slugs flying in the mouth, taking you over type story, that's the one.
Oh, wow. That sounds great. You guys really got me in the mood. I actually want to watch horror movies now.
Oh, see, then our job is done.
That's so rare. All right, here we go. We're going to go to Halloween 4 and see how they were selling this one.
Now, we should point out at this point in Halloween 2, we did establish that Laurie Strode is Michael's sister. So that's going to be important going forward.
Right. That there is a continuity that they created. And part of that is that Laurie is his younger sister.
Younger sister, because she would have been, she was like a baby.
Yeah, she was a baby when.
Yeah.
Right.
That changes, I think, later on.
Yeah, they had to shuffle around a little bit to make it work.
A lot of stuff changes.
Yes, exactly. A lot of stuff changes. We're gonna be here for it. So strap yourself in, get a nice frosty beverage, whatever it takes.
October 31st, a small Midwestern town fell.
This is very Texas Chainsaw right here.
Oh.
Under the cover of darkness, he carried out the most horrifying mass murder on record.
Don LaFontaine?
16 people in cold blood.
Was it that many?
Ever since that night, no one has forgotten his name.
He racked up a lot in part 2.
And
what was his name again?
Has never been the same.
True.
There's that music. Everyone says, "Oh, thank God, it's Michael Myers again."
Now, Michael Myers has come home.
In Mascovision.
For one more night of unholy terror.
Just one more.
Michael!
Oh, there's Loomis.
It's Danielle Harris.
Oh,
He's
a
here
fan
to kill
favorite.
that little girl.
Absolutely.
Anybody who
Yeah,
gets in his way.
The mask is terrible in this.
Who's going to be next?
Now, there's a reason for that. We don't usually stop it, but I'm going to stop it. There's a reason for that, right? Because at the end of Halloween 2, Laurie and the Dr. Loomis create a big giant oxygen and something else ether leak in a operating room, and Michael comes in, and Dr. Loomis sacrifices himself with a cigarette lighter and lights the gas and causes a big kaboomination. And from then on, Donald Pleasance is wearing this weird makeup.
Yeah.
Being burned. And Michael got burned too. So now the mask kind of looks really ratty.
But they can relate now.
You all get older.
And lots of screaming.
Falling off the house. That ain't fun.
Halloween 4. The return of Michael Myers.
He's coming back.
Nobody knows how to stop it.
Top billing.
I do enjoy Donald Pleasance at this point, who's like, well, they're gonna keep making these movies. I might as well chew up the scenery like crazy.
Absolutely.
Raphael on the side again doing some research for us. He found Night of the Creeps on both Tubi and Pluto.
Yeah,
Yes.
Tubi's great for horror movies.
It really is, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Like there's no horror movie that Tubi would say no to.
And I'm so stupid. I mean, I'll turn these things on. I go to bed at night. It's okay. What little TV as I drift off, and that's what's playing, of course. So I'm having nightmares later about having slugs like flying in my mouth and make me a zombie. So
yes, but you're a very successful horror writer. So yeah, granted, you're torturing your own brain, but still, we get the benefits. As
long as that's the result, I'm happy. But yeah, I mean, Danielle Harris, Mario, I mean, she became like kind of the Laurie Strode for the next
two movies, I think.
didn't she?
I think she was in 4 and 5.
4 and 5?
Yeah, and then they brought her back like in one of the zombie movies, Rob Zombie movies, but she wasn't, I think, the same character. She was
just cameo casting.
Just a cameo. Yeah, but she's a favorite. Like a lot of fans, Halloween fans love her.
I know we got Corey Feldman coming up here in the next 1 or 2.
Seriously, Corey Feldman joins the.
Corey Feldman's not in these.
See him in 6.
No, I think you're thinking of Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd shows up in part 6.
No, but I'm pretty sure Corey Feldman as a child shows up in.
Really? I didn't know. I didn't know Corey Feldman was in these.
I mean, I think we'll see him in the trailer if that's the case. So, fingers crossed.
Keep your eyes out for Corey Feldman.
I thought he was just in Friday the 13th. I didn't know he was in Halloween.
It's that cross pollination of universes.
There's another element to this which you can see actually in the tape. I can't rewind it here, right? No, I can't. I have to go over it here. The girl we're talking about is wearing the same costume that little Michael Myers had worn. The same clown costume, basically.
Well, no wonder adult Michael Myers is pissed. Give me my clown outfit back.
Stealing my gimmick, brother. That's how Michael came back.
That's very, very pro wrestling. Hey, he stole my gimmick and my finisher, bro.
I mean, you can blow me up and stab me and shoot me, but by God, give me my clown costume back.
Seriously, nobody gets to wear that but me. Okay, so that was 4. Michael Myers Returns, which is their way of going, please come back and watch our movies.
We're sorry.
We really screwed up. Sorry. We listened to John Carpenter, the guy who created all this, but we're not doing that ever again. All right. Here is 5. This would be the 5th movie.
Sheriff, they want you down at the cemetery.
Uh-oh.
Today in the cemetery, somebody dug up a coffin. It was a coffin of life.
There she is.
Girl.
You've come back to us, Michael.
Oh, from Anchor Bay. This is new.
Yeah, they changed the
When are they
mask
going to
again.
realize that she is not him? She's just a child.
They know that Michael Myers is her uncle.
They all messed up.
Her stepmother. That's why they fear her. Especially
There's that mask.
Halloween. You're afraid. You're afraid the whole
Is that
thing
what's her
might
name?
start
Catherine?
to happen again.
Yeah, this is where it starts to get a little supernatural.
Right. Now, I have to say, I'm interrupting it because they're showing that tattoo, and that tattoo, there's Dollar Store Meg Ryan.
Dollar Store.
That tattoo is called the Thorn.
Mm-hmm.
And because he has that, I believe the writers are now trying to say there is a demonic, supernatural black magic reason why Michael Myers is this unstoppable killing machine. What do you guys think of this turn in the story? And Joe, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. Well, I mean, at some point you have to kind of leave logic behind and say, from the first one, I mean, the guy got, should have been dead. He wasn't. He got up and walked away. So that something supernatural is happening. So yeah, bring it on. I mean, make him the spawn of Satan. Why not?
El Tiburon, how did you feel about this addition to the mythology?
Yeah, I saw all these movies in a row a couple of years ago, and this is where I was like, oh, this is where it starts to get stupid. I kind of don't need an explanation. Just throw them out there, let them kill a whole batch of new teenagers. But I get it. They want to make it. They want to do something different. So I get it.
Well, I mean, but you make a good point, Tiburon. And like sometimes, it's just why do you have to lay it all out for us? Just let us fill in the blanks.
I always wonder if it's so funny because we're at this weird time with the presidential election right now in our lives. And, there's always a way that they try to reshape the image of these candidates. And it just reminds me of, people going, look, we have a lot of questions. We don't know this about Michael Myers. We don't know that. And those are people who won't necessarily buy tickets to see it on opening weekend. So the producers who then influence the writers, I think they're going like, we want to get new viewers. And the way we do that is we explain things that were never explained. And I can't think of a lot of times that was successful. So I don't know why they kept doing it. But then again, producers are not the smartest people in the world. They're just there to sell you movies.
Well, they often don't assume that we're the smartest people in the world as the audience.
That is 1,000% true. Raphael says, Michael Myers gives you nightmares, spawned Freddy Krueger, who lives and kills in your nightmares. I agree with that, especially in everything felt like a derivation of Halloween to me. And because I didn't like Halloween, I didn't watch Friday the 13th. I didn't watch Nightmare on Elm Street. I just thought, oh, the people who love those movies are going to love those movies. Now, eventually I would end up watching one of those movies from every franchise and going, yeah, it was pretty good. I like that, but I'm probably not coming back. Nightmare Warriors or Dream Warriors? Was that
Dream Warriors?
Yeah, part 3. Mm-hmm. Dream Warriors.
That was the first Friday the 13th movie I ever saw.
Nightmare, you mean? Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare. I'm sorry. That was the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie I ever saw. Friday.
Just alone for the song. The Dawkins song. Dream Warriors. Don't want to dream no more.
That's right. There was a whole period of time where cool bands were doing songs for these movies. Do you remember when the Ramones did I don't want to get buried in the
pet cemetery. I don't want to live my life again. That's a classic one right there.
Well, and since YouTube wouldn't let us do it a couple weeks ago, I went back and watched a little bit of Maximum Overdrive, which of course that soundtrack is entirely by AC/DC.
That's right.
That's cool.
That's right.
Jason Voorhees got Alice Cooper, the man behind the mask. Have you heard that song?
No.
That's a good one. It's a good cheesy Alice Cooper song about Friday the 13th.
Look, I mean, I'm glad we're doing this spontaneously because I love this. One of my favorites of all time is the Fresh Prince song about
Nightmare on my street. It's a nightmare on my street. Yeah, it's a good one. That's a fun one.
And like Freddy Krueger actually raps in it with him or something. I just love that. Oh, I love that. It's Igor. You know, I can fix that hump. What hump? All right, here we go. Gonna continue. I think we're still in 5.
Yes, we're still looking at 5.
Might start to happen again.
How many people
did he kill last year? Have you forgotten? But you never looked into his face.
Look at that mask. It's
never saw his eyes.
It's really starting to reek.
Look at
got a good one.
No expression, blank. My memory goes back 12 years.
In the house.
Yeah. He returns to the house.
But in my heart, I knew that hell would not happen.
So poor Loomis, he just became consumed by Michael Myers for the rest of his life.
That's one of the things I like about this series is that Loomis becomes his own kind of monster.
Yeah.
But he'll stay till the day he dies.
I'm so sorry for the poor little girl.
Oh, seriously.
Usually traumatized the rest of her life.
Yeah,
however long that is.
I think in part 4, they were kind of teasing that she was gonna be the next like Michael Myers or something, and
yeah, she was like a little Michael Myers disciple.
If I remember from my research correctly, and I might not, she is Laurie Strode's daughter.
I think she's another sister.
Is she? I thought she was the niece. It's one of those.
Oh, but yeah,
yeah. Laurie Strode and her husband are killed, and their daughter is left, and now he's coming for her. But
that is one dysfunctional family, isn't it?
Well,
yeah. Michael uses a lot of like farm tools in this one too.
Really varying up his choice of tools.
What? No subtitle?
Oh man, you gotta have the subtitle. Is there a subtitle for 5?
No, there wasn't.
There is The Revenge of Michael Myers.
Well, they didn't show it here.
Oh,
yeah.
Good research. Yeah.
Yeah, thank God. I was like, come on, we need the subtitle.
I have the Blu-ray set here, so I'm just looking at the Revenge of Michael Myers.
Oh man, that's really cool. All right, so we get through 5. Now he's stalking this little girl. That's very scary. You don't remember?
I like John's bullet point analysis about. Check.
I don't remember the year or the date on this one. Do you, Mario El Tiburon?
No, I'd have to look at the Blu-ray set.
Here's
the
problem.
We're getting to the late. We're getting maybe into the early 90s.
Or you ask Alexa, hey Alexa, when did Halloween 5: Revenge of Michael Myers come out?
The film Halloween 5: The Revenge of Michael Myers was released on October 13th, 1989.
89.
Would you like to hear a Halloween?
Hey Alexa, shut up.
Shut up.
89.
No, I mean, thank you, Alexa. But I was going to say because it had to be at least late 80s because Halloween 4 apparently took place about 10 years after the first one, according to the beginning crawl.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Good point. Good point.
That's 89. Yeah. I guess the last 80s Halloween movie.
Yes, definitely. All right, so we're going into the 90s. We're a little more in El Tiburon's.
I kind of feel like we're on a trip through memory lane. Now we're going to the 90s.
Do love the 90s. You can't touch it. Here we go.
Do you know why we celebrate Halloween? A long, long time ago, it was a night of great power. When the days grew short, all across the land, huge bonfires were lit. Oh, there was a marvelous celebration, and they dressed up in costumes, hoping to ward off
satanic cults.
Evil.
Literally a witchy aunt.
Yeah. They continue with the cult stuff at this one.
Right, the Thorn timeline, as they call it.
Yeah.
Hey, Donald Pleasant's still getting work.
The mask gets better at least in this one.
Yeah, they're kind of stepping up on the pumpkins and the mask. The curse of Michael.
Oh, they're getting really up front with. Oh, hang on.
It's 1998. I got to point out that with all these, with the various sequels and the various franchises, we're starting to get kind of a theme going as far as titles. Because there was also like the Curse of Chucky, you know. So at some point they all become, curseable.
You gotta really like make that supernatural connection, and they do it through curse. Okay, I don't know. Not a lot to say about this one.
Paul Rudd.
Like,
Paul Rudd's in this one. He plays like a peeping Tom. Yeah.
I guess I must have been mistaken about Corey Feldman. I thought he was in one of these.
No, he's not in the Halloween ones. I think in this one, Paul Rudd plays. He's supposed to be the little boy that Laurie Strode is babysitting in the first Halloween, but he's grown up and he's like a peeping Tom or something. And I love. The only thing that stood out from this one is that the Halloween music, they since it's the 90s, they threw in some like guitar riffs into the theme. I love that.
And I have to apologize to everybody, you guys in our audience, but I did speak before without having my facts straight, and you may have even said this, Tiburon, but yeah, Feldman was in the Friday the 13th, one or two of those sequels.
Right.
So I got mixed up on the franchises there. Sorry about that.
My favorite horror movie that Corey Feldman was in was Meatballs 4.
Meatballs 4?
They kept making Meatballs movies, and they were god-awful.
Was this like 90s when that one was made, or
what? More or less, yeah.
I remember seeing it. I thought it was in the 80s that I saw it, but I'm not sure. But basically, Corey Feldman becomes like the new Bill Murray.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, John, don't discount other horror movies that Corey Feldman has been in. Most notably, the ones he co-starred in with Corey Haim.
Men at Work? Was it Men at Work? Was one of them?
No,
was that Shirley?
I'm thinking about Dream a Little Dream, which is the most horrific movie.
Dream a Little Dream is so terrible, which I think was their follow-up to License to Drive.
Which I kind of dig that one. it's a nice little comedy, and of course I like Dream a Little Dream because I was had a crush on the female lead in that way, who is now Salinger is her name. Meredith Salinger, who is now married to Peyton Oswald from King of Queens, and
oh my God, really? Oh, I didn't realize that she had
a couple years ago they got hitched.
Tiburon, what was the last thing that you said? I've already forgotten it.
About the guitar riffs in the song?
The guitar riffs were awesome.
Paul Rudd's in it. He plays the little boy, I guess, from Halloween 1 that Laurie Strode's babysitting.
Right.
And this one has two endings. I remember there's two different endings for this one, like alternate endings. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, so there was that parallel universe divergence.
Yeah.
No, there is a reality divergence coming up in these movies where the Thorn timeline gets broken off and there's another timeline.
Yeah, this is like freaking the Marvel movies now. Yeah, the Halloween franchise has like all these timelines. I saw someone put up like a chart, and there's like all these different timelines to follow if you want to watch the movies, I guess, based on the timeline.
Yeah, and they were saying like the two easiest timelines are Halloween 3, because it's not a timeline, it's just a spot. It's just like a one-off. And then the Rob Zombie movies, which are as if it never happened before. And those two movies are on their own. They have their own timeline. So
well, I mean, as I'm sure we'll see in this first batch of trailers, I mean, the cutely named Halloween H2O, get it? Because it was 20th anniversary.
Right.
I mean, that was one among the first to say, okay, we're going to ignore everything after Halloween 2 and carry on from that type of deal. But I think the Rob Zombies that was just a complete reboot. I mean, they weren't meant to be connected at all, were they?
No, there were like references, like little cute winks and nods. Yeah. But no, they were just doing a complete reboot. That is the best way of putting it. Tylord is, well, there was a return, a revenge, and a curse of the Pink Panther also.
Man, they're
Yeah.
just cursed.
I was trying to remember. There's another movie franchise where they used like the same sequel names, and I think that's the one, the Pink Panther.
So which is freaking wild. And honestly, I've seen video of this. I've seen like a YouTube clip of this. Corey Feldman, his most horrific work, says Raphael, is his live show Michael Jackson tribute.
Oh man.
You know how I said a few minutes ago that I give myself nightmares by watching flying slugs on TV fly into people's mouths? No, this is it. This is the nightmare material right here.
Gross. All right, here we go. We're gonna queue up the next one.
It's 1998 in a remote California town at a secluded private school.
We could have a Halloween party, just the four of us. We could have a roaming orgy.
Who are the youngsters here? You've seen them later.
Yes. So I think this is H2O, right?
This is H2O.
Yep.
I
mid 90s, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell a bizarre and hopefully not pointless story here. And I'm trying to remember this actor's name.
Josh Hartnett, I think.
Josh Hartnett, because he was in 40 Days of Night. Do you remember that really?
Oh, the vampire one in the snow?
Yeah.
I think it's
30 Days of Night.
30 Days of Night. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
He was really good. I've liked him. Oh, he was in Penny Dreadful, the Showtime series, which was, I liked it. It was pretty wild. Plays a werewolf, as it turns out. I hope I didn't ruin it for anyone.
So I guess maybe at this point they thought the Halloween franchise might have been over, because it seems like there's a sizable gap between Curse of Michael Myers and this one, because this would be 98, being the 20 years after the original.
Yeah, this is a few years from the last one, if I remember correctly. And and what they had going for them was Jamie Lee Curtis was back.
Oh, of course.
So that's
this and the original, the only two I ever saw at the theater.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
This one flipped my switches. This one showed up on my radar because I was in a commercial for Porsche. And I don't know that this commercial exists anywhere on YouTube, but it's basically a bunch of people on a bus, and I'm one of them. And the guy driving the bus sees a Porsche Boxster at a car dealership, and then he's imagining himself driving in the Boxster. And he's actually been driving the bus like this. You know, it's like hairpin turns, and the bus is just shaking all, and we're all our stuff is flying everywhere. I had a bowling ball and a bag of like cans of soup and oranges, and it's just all flying everywhere. And they put like stunt harnesses on us because half the people on the bus were actual trained stunt people. And then a bunch of us were just like actors with good faces. And the stunt people were like, "Are you going to be able to do this?" And I'm like, "Do what?" And they're like, "Oh, they didn't tell you, did they?"
Oh, no.
They're like, "You're doing stunts, bro." And I'm like, "What? No one told me I was doing stunts." When you're an actor and that happens, you get hazard pay. We immediately went to the second director and was like, "We're doing stunts." And they're like, "You're getting hazard pay. Don't worry about it." That's not how you do it. So the guy that I was sitting nearest, the guy who was responsible for my safety, was the guy who played Michael Myers in this movie.
Oh, that's cool.
And he was a doll. He was like one of the sweetest guys in the world. He was genuinely concerned for our safety. He trained us very quickly. He looked after us. All the stunt people looked after us. And I was just so grateful to have his friendship on this spot. And I've asked people who like these movies, it's like, he was a good Michael Myers, right? And they're all like, he was one of them.
Chris Durand, it says.
Chris. Most fans do not love this Michael Myers. And I'm like, well, look, I mean, I love him because he took care of me. So Here we go. Josh Hartnett, I believe, is supposed to be Jamie Lee Curtis's grown up or mostly grown up son in this one.
Exactly right. That's why I wasn't sure about the daughter possibility earlier with Danielle Harris. I think that might have been a more distant relative, like a niece. Like I think it Mario alluded to, but
I think
yes,
right here
this is her almost grown son.
Yep.
Right.
High school.
No drugs, no kidding.
Hey, Lori
right.
Stark.
She's a teacher.
Still looking great.
One teacher is living in fear.
And I love
it for Michael Myers, doesn't he? Oh, I forgot about Adam Arkin.
Adam Arkin. I forgot.
Oh, I envy him right now.
Well, that's a tough job. How do you do that?
With a really big kitchen knife. It's enough. I can't take it, Mom. He's dead. It's been 20
Crazy,
years.
Mom.
What's he waiting for? Don't you think he would have shown up by now?
Oh, be careful what you wish
Really
for.
want to feel like that?
Hello, Cool J.
There you go.
This is a sick joke.
Ladies love Mike Myers.
Now,
When she sees him through that little window in the door,
the face of evil
probably is coming up.
meet one last
I love that
time.
shot. There it is.
This is a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
But this time,
This time,
it's going to be a fight.
she's fighting back.
I love this guy's voice, the trailer guy.
Yeah. Oh, there was nobody
Fight
like
to the
the
death until the next sequel.
This
is the one you gotta
won't
watch.
be taking a vacation.
That is a really slow one-armed pull-up.
Halloween.
And what a cute title, don't you think?
H2O.
Oh, and there she is. There's Mom.
Oh, that's Mom? That's her?
That's Shannon Lee right there, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Psycho.
Love her. Okay.
I know for this movie, they actually did some CGI in one of the scenes because the mask would sometimes look goofy because you could see his eyes and it looked kind of cartoony. So they like CGI'd. If you watch this movie, there's a scene where you could see the really bad CGI because the CGI wasn't what it is now. You know?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely its infancy at this point.
Right.
It's a fun one, though. It's a fun one.
Raphael
Michelle
asks,
Williams.
was that
Raphael.
Michelle Williams?
Yes, Dawson's Creek. Girl from Dawson's Creek. Yep.
Oh, no kidding.
Also notable from Brokeback Mountain, you know, if you keep up with her movies. Her and Anne Hathaway being the spouses of the...
Yeah, she became like a big actress, right? Like a big
Oh,
actress.
sure, yeah.
And I also think I'm just going out on a limb here. I believe that she had a kid with Heath Ledger. They had a daughter together. And
Yes, they
so
did.
she was kind of like famous for that for a little bit too. Good catch, Raphael. Good catch, man.
Yes.
All right. So after H2O comes this next.
Well, let's
Halloween.
mention, I mean, of course, spoilers abound, but this stuff's old.
This stuff is old.
It was a fight to the finish. He got Michael at last. Or so we thought.
Right. Right. So
I mean, she had the guy's head in her hand. Like Kathy Griffin holding Trump's mask or whatever it was.
Yeah. They explained that in the beginning of this one. And it's kind of like
this is redeemed
really
by having Tyra Banks on it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the reality TV Halloween one.
Right. So this one is modern because they're live streaming from the Myers household. The house has been abandoned for all these years, and they're going to, you know, put this on the internet with this, Ted Turner, this billionaire Ted, played by Busta Rhymes.
And there it is.
Tell me if I get any of this wrong. I believe. And there's Tyra. Damn, Tyra.
You can't go on with Tyra, but I mean,
has been rigged up with several cameras, but for the
they
most part,
undid the ending of the previous one in 5 minutes. I couldn't take it. I said no.
In the shower.
Oh, Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah.
Be locked shut behind them. No one will be allowed to leave until the show is over.
Locking you in.
Dangertainment begin.
Dangertainment.
This is the one that you used to, do his thing. One flash and you could light up 1,000 computer screens.
No, my.
Like this close to getting voted off the island.
Okay.
Honestly, I prefer her in Battlestar Galactica.
There's somebody in the hall.
Oh no!
Whoa!
Get out of my house!
New remix of the music.
Hello, Michael. I knew you'd come sooner or later. What took you so long?
Oh, guy.
And that's basically all she does in this movie.
Oh, really? Oh, wow,
She's in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think she dies, right?
Yeah, he kills her.
He
Oh, come
kills
on.
her.
I mean,
Yeah.
not only that, but in the previous one, I mean, she was messed up, but she had a nice life. She had a son, you know, working at the school there, and then suddenly she's in the insane asylum in this one.
She
You know, and then-
beheads him in the last one, right? She beheads him, and then
Well, supposedly.
oh no,
Yeah.
Michael did the old killer bees. Remember the killer bees from the 80s? He
Yeah.
did the old switcheroo with someone else. You didn't behead Michael Myers.
Ooh.
If I remember correctly, yeah, the guy who gets killed, although this happens maybe in another movie, it's someone who dresses as Michael Myers for Halloween.
I thought it was a
It's not
security
far off.
guard.
It was like,
Yeah.
you know,
Whatever it was, it didn't make any sense. It was just like, all right, let's just explain really quick why Michael needs to come back.
That
and
might have
Jamie Lee
happened.
Curtis goes from the top of the cast list to the bottom. You know she's going to be in it for a minute and a half. You know,
Got to show up, collect her check, get killed, moving on. All right, next
so that
one
was
after
Resurrection,
after Resurrection is this next one. Is this
which
Kill?
which is a BS title because he was never
It's
killed.
a zombie.
Oh,
Oh,
this
this
is
is
not
Resurrection. This zombie one. Zombie.
Brutal murders was described by
Now, this may
police
be a
as
new one to me.
Manson-like in its viciousness. 3 people brutally
Rob Zombie, in the typical Rob Zombie fashion, goes way back and decides to make it about a family, and spends a lot of time showing Michael Myers as a little kid with Dr. Loomis.
Okay, I've known this one, of course. Yeah, I mean, really got. I mean, wasn't it well into the movie before you even got to the beginning of the original? Because there was so much backstory on Michael and Loomis.
Yes, exactly. That Rob Zombie really wanted to show like the childhood torment.
Yeah, I think the Michael for this one is the Tyler Mane, which was like a pro wrestler. Sabretooth from the X-Men movies.
But what happened to the William Shatner mask? And I did enjoy Malcolm McDowell as Loomis in these.
Yeah,
A worthy successor to the role, honestly.
Yeah, I believe so.
English actor, good actor, not afraid to get really big.
And I do appreciate their explanation years later as to how Michael Myers knew how to drive.
Oh.
They just basically said he just watched Loomis drive one time and he picked it up. He was a savant in that sense.
Damn.
Because people wondered since the original, said, how did you know how to drive?
That is a really, really good question. And actually, it makes sense to give him like these super perception powers too. Because he knows a lot more than he should.
Brad Dourif, the voice of Chucky, is in this one too as like the sheriff.
Oh, great.
Holy cow.
There's that
Huge
universe hopping
trivia
again.
point.
Got a little bit of John Carpenter theme in there, I heard.
Yes, they bring back the John Carpenter theme. That is super cool as well.
Now I gotta say, what we're about to see, I guess it's called Halloween 2, as far as following Rob Zombies, but I found it unwatchable. I don't know if I've ever finished this one.
It's a bit rough. This is like a fever dream or something.
Yeah, it's just like it's like it's going to trigger a seizure in you if you're epileptic. It's just bizarre.
There's a lot of shots with a white horse and Rob Zombie's wife,
Oh,
Sherry Moon. It's weird. It's so weird.
I was like, we're watching 1001 Maniacs or something. You know?
Yeah, and I believe that she plays like the ghost of Michael Myers' mother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And there's a white horse for some reason too.
Well, purity. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna go to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And
here we go.
Rob Zombie, who never met a movie he couldn't make grungier or dirtier.
And not put his wife in. He's got to put his wife in every single movie.
Yeah, he has no problem with nepotism, that's for sure.
There goes Brad Dourif.
Brad Dourif. I didn't remember he was the voice of Chucky. That's so
Oh
cool.
yeah,
that is so cool.
Okay, back in the hospital.
Yeah. Okay, so is that this movie's Lori? I think.
Yeah, she's the one that she shoots Michael in the face in the last one, and she goes crazy, gets put in the hospital.
There's
Man,
a
don't
lot
you
of
go to the hospital. It's like signing your death warrant. Oh crap! Everyone's dead in the hospital.
So it really is Halloween 2.
Yeah,
yeah.
He remade Halloween 2, which is
Yeah.
unusual because they usually kind of diverge after a remake of the original into something else.
Yeah. Sometimes
there's that clown costume.
Yeah. Oh my. One of the things I loved about Rob Zombie is he uses bad lighting to its like best, extent. I really like that. Is that dude even wearing a mask?
That was Danielle Harris. She makes a little cameo.
Oh, was that her?
Yeah, she comes back in this one, but not as that character, as another character.
I guess I'm just trying to think of the time frame. I guess she would be a kind of a young adult at this time. Because I saw her recently in something where she's now middle aged, which should make us all feel old.
This whole thing makes me feel old. But life makes me feel old.
I just want to say, can I just say, I love, us wrestling, training in XPW. We heard a lot of Rob Zombie, Dracula, and all these Living Dead Girl. We heard all those. Those were all entrance themes. I love Rob Zombie's music, but movies, not so much.
Right. Right. Yeah. There was the wrestler Supreme.
Yeah, Living
and
Dead
he
Girl.
came out to Living Dead Girl. He was known as the Human Horror Show as well.
Oh my.
Yeah, Supreme was he was everything. I love that guy. I love that guy. We ended up having a falling out, and because we were working at a wrestling company much later, and he wanted to go in one direction and I wanted to go in another, and he never quite forgave me for that. And I remember out of the blue, I never do this. There are family members I've never done this to. And I was like, I'm just going to text Supreme. I'm going to text him. I'm just going to tell him how I feel. And I just said, look, man, I know you don't like me right now, but I admire you. You're always going to be one of my fathers when it comes to wrestling. I will always look up to you. And then he was like, that's really sweet. And I appreciate it, but I still don't want to talk to you.
He was a pretty straightforward Supreme.
He was. He could be a blunt man, but he passed away a couple years after that. And it was one of those rare times in my life that I didn't have a regret because I told him how I felt.
You did what you could, and from the heart.
And, and I don't even imagine that as he was on his deathbed, he was like, oh, maybe I was mean to John. But God bless him. I will always love Primo.
R.I.P. to Supreme. Even though he busted my head open with a chair shot, R.I.P. to Supreme. Speaking of Carrie, I look like Carrie with the blood all like on my shoulders and stuff.
I forgot about that. Was that time in training when they were like beating us up as punishment for not doing enough flyering and stuff?
Yeah, they hit. Yeah, I got hit. We all got hit with chair shots, and they lined us up. And of course, lucky me, I got Supreme got to hit me with his first chair shot, so he was nice and fresh.
God bless him. I should probably just shut my mouth, but he wasn't the tallest man, and so his chair shots were really dangerous. Because when a chair is flying at you, you want it to come down. You don't want it to come up.
Ooh.
Yeah. The funny thing is that when he busted me open, he said, well, it was your fault because you flinched. And I was like, okay, but I just see like a big metal chair coming at my head, I'm gonna flinch a little bit.
That whole thing about that violent thing I did to you, it's your fault. That's very wrestling. And it is BS. It was not your fault, Mario. It was not you do not have to accept your abuser's explanation.
Yeah, you didn't fling the church yourself.
All right. So this one is called Halloween. See, the ads caught up with me.
Oh, don't watch.
Ignore the ad, everybody. Ignore the ad.
This is 2018, right? I think.
Yeah, we're in recent years now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is a more modern timeline, and this is indeed 2018.
Well, it was yet another reboot in the sense that
I think
everything after Halloween 2, the original.
Yeah.
Even I don't think this one even acknowledges H2O, does it?
No, I think it's like you said, right after 2. That's it.
Yep.
That is the point. It's so funny because they do this with the Superman movies too. They all want to go back to 2. And they want to ignore every movie that came after that because this is like the more, acceptable timeline or something. All right, here we go.
Well, they never got around to it, but they were going to do the same thing with Alien at one point.
It couldn't be any worse than what they've been doing.
And these are podcasters. I remember these guys. I like that there's just like a time capsule for each one, like the reality TV stuff with Tyra and Busta. These guys are podcasters.
They're definitely of their time.
Yeah.
Hello, Michael. I have something you might like to see.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, don't give that to him.
Didn't they get the Michael from part 1 to be the Michael in this one?
I think they did. I think you're right, Mario. You got the same mask, it looks like. That nasty thing that's 30 years old.
This time of year. Yeah, I mean, your grandmother is Laurie Strode.
Grandmother now.
She was almost murdered.
So maybe it is the same son. He's just not here.
Those babysitters?
No, it was not her brother. That's something that people made up.
Do you know that I pray every night that he would escape?
Oh, I think Tyler's right. I don't even think they acknowledge 2. It's just 1, and that's it.
So I can kill him.
I love this sheriff.
Dad, look out! The bus crashed.
Mom, what bus crashed?
Michael's
Oh
came.
no, that's a different child. There was no daughter in H2O.
Is there somebody in here?
Excuse me, somebody's in here.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
Occupied. He took his pants?
Michael only likes the mechanic jumping.
All to get his mask back.
He's waited for this night. He's waited for me. I've waited for him. Get out! Go on! Get inside!
Here's a thought. Quit going back to Haddonfield.
Yeah.
Move to like New Zealand or something.
You don't believe it?
There's so many other places to live.
Or just at least like a county over or something.
You should.
Can you close the closet door?
Oh!
Uh-oh.
Quit hitting my foot.
This kid's funny, that kid in this movie.
Hello. It's just like, take the babysitter. I'm out of here.
This is the first Halloween I saw in the theaters. This one.
Oh, really?
This one I like. I like this one.
I was about to say, this
I
one
like
really
the trilogy.
Good. Yeah. I think not Rob Zombie, Trent Reznor, I think, and Carpenter did like the soundtrack for this one, I think.
Well, like I said, that makes sense since he did the original.
Yeah, but they got Reznor from 9 Inch Nails to help.
Trent Reznor. Good friend of, oh my God, the guy who made Twin Peaks, David Lynch.
Oh, right.
Man, don't trigger Tyler with Twin Peaks. He loves. He can't get enough of Twin Peaks. Don't get him started.
Did you watch the most recent sequel series? It's like 6 years old now, but yeah, that was Trent Reznor. What they would do on the more modern, I think it was called Return to Twin Peaks. What they would do is at the end of almost every episode, there would be a musical number done by a band on a stage in Twin Peaks. Yeah, well, did you like it? How did you feel about Tyler? It's like, yeah, I saw it. Ugh. Oh, he did like it. Okay. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. It was fun. I really liked it, man.
Tyler, I'm curious whether you saw Mulholland Drive, the movie that Lynch did. I mean, that is incomprehensible, but wonderful. I love it.
Mulholland Drive is one of those, like, if you're a fan of David Lynch, you've seen. I have not, but
and if you're a fan of Laura Herring or Naomi Watts, also a good reason to watch.
Oh yeah, Naomi Watts. Oh, she's really great in the Return series too. Okay, so that is Halloween 2018, and now we're going to go to Halloween Ends. Sorry about the commercial. Please do not pay attention to this commercial. There we go.
So yeah, the next one is Kills. Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills.
Oh, my bad. Halloween Kills. So it's still Lori and her granddaughter and her daughter.
I mean, the house burned down around him. Surely he's dead now, right? Oh, I guess not.
If only we could have kept the firemen out of that house. Take my hand.
Don't take that guy's hand. Oh.
Michael Myers, known for his firm handshake.
There's not even a mark on him. So we're totally in supernatural territory.
Oh my God.
Strength.
Oh, creepers.
My grandmother was right. The boogeyman was real.
Of course, this was a planned trilogy. Didn't they release it was it every year or every 2 years?
I think it was every couple of years. Yeah, this is its own trilogy. Yeah.
Somebody in there?
Hi, Toby. I know that.
Oh!
Is variety of kills a good thing, guys?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that's why you go to the slashers, because you want to see the creative kills. Yeah.
So like the broken, I mean, from wrestling, we know this Tiburon, the broken fluorescent light, and then he shoves it in that woman's throat. Brutal.
Yeah. All right.
To me, that's what makes the Final Destination series so entertaining. All the different ways they die.
I've seen one of those too.
Oh, we'll talk more about that. That might be a topic.
It might be, but
if you track Michael's victims, that's a
shout out to Season of the Witch right there.
That's right. There was the witch mask, the skeleton mask, and the jack-o'-lantern mask, correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah, at this point in the series, we're definitely looking for Easter eggs.
What do? We fight.
Oh, Anthony Michael Hall.
Hunt him down. Michael Myers is
oh, a cool little jazzy mix there.
But a man.
This is AC/DC. Thunderstruck.
A little up-tempo.
The more he transcends.
We're getting a copyright hit on this. We might as well enjoy it.
He's the essence.
Oh, no!
He's the essence of evil? Is that a thing? That's really good, actually.
Do it.
Don't dare him. He'll do it.
Come and get it. I'm coming for you, Michael.
Hey, Anthony Michael Hall took on oh, what do you call him? Edward Scissorhands. He's not afraid of Michael Myers.
No, of course not.
Hang on, just got to play enough of this crap to get us to the skip button. Where is there? It is. There it is.
And then finally,
and
Halloween Ends.
But does it really?
And for now. Well, this is just its own trilogy. I'm sure they'll remake it, reboot it at some point.
Now,
have they actually rebooted Friday the 13th a couple times?
I think so. I mean, Friday the 13th. Yeah. Yeah, I think they've rebooted that a few.
because they went from Paramount to New Line, so then New Line kind of did its own thing. And now then they rebooted in 2009, and now I think there was a big lawsuit, and so I'm just waiting for it to come back. I'll take anything. Send them back to space. I don't care. I'd watch anything Friday the 13th.
No, I was gonna say, John, make this go because that guy's looking at me.
Yeah, this one got a lot of hate.
Joe.
Oh, we got a lot of hate.
This one got a lot of hate. Halloween Ends.
I think I had trouble getting to this one too.
Yeah.
This was the one that came out during COVID, right? So no one was going to the theater at that time. I'm trying to remember. I think they debuted it on like Peacock or something.
Oh yeah. You're right. Mm-hmm.
So it kind of got lost in the shuffle anyway, you know.
Yeah.
You pretend like you moved on, but you're actually just obsessed with death.
What are you gonna do when Michael comes back for you? Because he is coming.
Be somewhere else. There's your answer.
He feels different. He's more dangerous.
There's a dog in the pool.
Gotta say, beautiful shot.
Oh. Talking about impalement, Batman. Oh.
He killed my daughter. But tonight, I will kill him. Come and get me.
Come and get me. Come and get me.
I've always wanted to hear Jamie Lee Curtis say that.
There's some Dennis for it.
Maybe the only way he can die is if I die too.
No, that's not
it
true.
All ends now.
You can hear him breathe.
Get that mask off.
You came here to kill me, so do it.
Oh, the Undertaker sit up.
Yep, that's where he got it from.
Well, he did make it to the theaters apparently, but probably lost a lot of business.
Maybe Kills was the one that
Hi,
was
I'm
during
Micheline,
COVID.
and I'm a therapist.
I don't. Maybe Kills was the one that came out during COVID, but that one got a lot of hate because they introduced this whole new character, and then that character is like the main focus of the movie. Michael's in a sewer most of the time. It's not great.
And there is that element of the kid that finds him in the sewers. Like he keeps the kid alive, and it looks like he's going to groom him to be the next Michael Myers.
Yeah, and then he just disposes of him. Like,
right?
So they invest all this time into this character, and then he's gone. Like,
you
like
can't
nothing.
blame him. I mean, every guy wants to have a son or surrogate son to follow in his footsteps. So you know,
someone to carry on.
He was a mark for Michael Myers, that kid.
Yes, we know how those were. Okay, so allegedly this is a deleted scene where Michael speaks.
Oh, okay.
But it might be a gag. I don't know.
I think you stopped sharing. You stopped sharing.
John, sure.
You're not letting us in on this clip, John.
Oh my God, I can't show it to you because it's Michael Myers on the phone, but somebody took a clip from something else, which is absolutely obscene. So I'm really glad that I didn't
show it to us in the green room after the show.
I don't even remember where the clip is that they're taking it from, but
that's for the Patreon.
Oh man, poor Raphael and Tyler are gonna be mad. They won't be able to see it.
If you look up Halloween rare deleted scene, Michael speaks, you'll find it.
Okay.
And the person who put it up, Cash for Beans, shame on you.
Oh, well, I'm glad, John, you had a little bit of a look before you just threw it up there.
Accidentally screened it. Because normally what I do, I know nobody needs to know this, but when I do a crash test, when I try to figure out if a playlist might get us in trouble, I do go to one of my burner accounts. I never used to use that phrase, but thank you, Tiburon, for giving it for me. Giving it to me. And then frequently what I'll do is I'll just go do something else and I'll just wait for it to crash. I don't actually watch all the clips because, you know, attention deficit disorder is my explanation. All right, I am just going to start this video. You don't have to watch it. So if anybody wants me to turn it away, we don't have to watch it. But what we were looking at is from he's got almost 8,500 subscribers. So this guy's doing pretty well. Yeah, let me give him.
It should be worthwhile.
This is the top 5 rare and expensive Halloween collectibles from my own horror collection. And
I bet there's nothing better than what Tiburon has.
Hello and welcome back to
this guy has
YouTube channel dedicated to all things horror. With Halloween Ends releasing in cinemas this weekend, I thought it'd be the perfect time to take a look at the top 5 rarest and most valuable Halloween items in my collection. Let's get to it.
I don't see a Michael Myers doll.
Oh, he's cheering you up, mate. He's cheering you up for it. Yeah. Oh, this is back when we all used to do intros to our shows.
Man, look at that. Very spiffy.
He's got a nice
good production values.
He's got a real nice channel.
Okay, so coming in at number 5, we have the NECA Cult Classics Halloween Evolution of Evil 2-pack of Michael Myers and a young Michael Myers. This is, without a doubt, one of those NECA Holy Grail action figures. In fact,
it's new in box.
A Holy Grail of horror figures.
Mint on card.
It's a beautiful set, and I just wish that NECA would do something like this today. Maybe get that Halloween 1 license again.
When my parents died, they saved up to buy a home and a few rental
I've had to skip this one about 100 times.
So proud.
Let's get out of
Great this set. It comes with Michael Myers. Michael Myers when he was young, like in the intro of the original film, where he's dressed in his clown.
The pumpkin lights up.
He kills his young sister, his older sister. Sorry, getting it all wrong. And it also comes with Judith Myers' tombstone.
I love
a
that.
Knife and a light up pumpkin. It's truly a classic and definitely makes the number 5 on this list.
So how much did you pay for that item when you bought it?
So when I got this item a couple of years ago now, I was lucky enough to find it for a fairly decent price, actually. I managed to get the Evolution of Evil pack for around £180. It goes for a lot more now, to say that wasn't so long ago.
What's the going rate today?
So today for this pack, you're looking at around £300 to £400, I'd say would be the price for this.
What is that What is that?
About $275 maybe? More or less?
It might even break 400 because the pound can be really close to $1.50 sometimes.
Oh, I'm going on outdated information. That was quite a bit less. So.
Yeah. And it's new. Oh man, it's nice though. I like that.
That's
Tiburon, if I give you that for Christmas, will I be your friend?
I will do whatever you want.
Oh, well, you heard it here first, everybody.
Well, with some restrictions, but
extremely rare set. It's getting more.
But NECA, they make a lot of horror figures. That company, NECA.
Yeah, I'm assuming a lot of the stuff that he has, which looks really great, is really like collector stuff, like that Freddy versus Jason set just behind him.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think that's movie Maniacs, maybe.
Ooh, Tiburon knows.
Guys, so coming in at number 4 on my list, we have.
I'm a 40-year-old that collects toys. I said
Hall of Fame.
Oh, that one's cool.
Oh, there we go.
Of course, everyone remembers the scene from the original Halloween. It's.
Why don't they all have the little pumpkin there with it?
Where Michael.
Yeah, it's from Halloween 1.
Spoiler.
Yes.
I remember he came out and killed PJ Souls with that sheet on.
With a sheet over his head.
I think these figures are early 2000s, like 2008, 9, 10, around there. So that's why they're so expensive. They're hard to find mint on card.
Okay, if that Michael Myers head in the background comes alive, I'm going to freak out.
Hey, serves him right.
people consider to be the
You know, one of the things that happened in Halloween and then also happened in Friday the 13th was that there was this, they used to call it diddle and die. Have you ever heard of that, Tiburon?
No. What does that mean? Diddle and die?
Joe,
oh, like have sex and
no,
die?
that's a new term for me.
Have sex and die?
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, there was an article that came out after Halloween was really big, and then maybe after Friday the 13th one, where they were saying, you know, these movies have a really strange like morality to them.
Mm-hmm.
The kids who do drugs, the kids who have sex, the kids who are not taking care of the kids, you know, the babysitters are not taking care of the children they're supposed to be taking care of. Those are the ones who get killed.
Yeah, like Lori was very responsible. She doesn't get killed.
Right.
Well, she was virginal and she took care of her kids to a point, you know. She got a little distracted once or twice. But...
Well, yeah, the only number 4 on your list.
Well, you know, you take a knife to the arm.
Special.
You can see he has a poster with signatures.
Okay, moving on to number 3. What have you got?
Yeah.
Like
So I have
autographs
got
on there.
the NECA Halloween Night He Came Home box set.
Oh, good.
Now,
hey,
this
Dr. Loomis
is another one of those figures from NECA. Again, this is keeping with the theme here. This came out in 2004.
I love the Dr.
It
Loomis
is,
action
I think,
figure.
a spin-off of the NECA Cult Classics range when it came out. Or
I don't give you a
precursor to that.
chair shot like
And
Supreme.
it's a really well-known piece of Halloween memorabilia.
Oh, look.
I think everyone should try and get this one out of the other two.
I wonder
I
who
do love
signed
the
it.
ghost sheet figure of Myers and the Evolution of Evil set. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
But
also
the Night
early
He Came Home
2000s.
box set. It's hard to top this
That is
one.
so cool.
Because you get
I
Myers,
want that Dr.
you get
Loomis
Dr. Loomis. It's a full diorama of the front porch of the
got
Myers
a gun.
house. It's just an absolutely stunning.
You know, Joe, he shot him
And
6
what's the
times.
valuation
I'm
on
not
these
sure if you're
figures
aware.
nowadays?
So again,
Shot him
just
6
like the
times.
last
so it's empty.
two,
I don't want
you're
the gun.
around £300 to £400 in that range. That price
Wow.
again does go up and down depending.
But I imagine this one's worth a little bit more because there is a signature on it. So, whose signature's on this one?
There is a scribble on this one, and it is the autograph of the one and only John Carpenter.
Oh,
the horror god
yeah,
himself.
yeah.
So I was fortunate.
I
to
can't
meet
believe I saw
2 years
JC and
ago
I'm like,
at
Jamie Lee
one
Curtis?
of his gigs. It was an incredible
Where's the
night.
L?
John is such a lovely man. Really nice to talk to, even though I was messing up my words and everything, you know, meeting someone like that. It was a bit overwhelming, but he was really, really nice. And he signed Happy Halloween on this set, which is just amazing.
That's got to
It's
put it
such a
over
great
the moon
memory.
in
And
price.
This guy's giddy. Look at him.
definitely something
I don't
that I
blame
will
him.
treasure forever.
See, isn't this guy likable?
Number 3,
Yeah.
priceless item.
Definitely does. I haven't seen one of these signed by John before. I'm sure they're out.
He's got all this hardcore horror stuff, and then if you see here in the lower corner, he's got some Rocky. He's got a Rocky Horror
Oh, yeah.
picture.
Is that the Yellow
Okay, so
Submarine
moving
there
on from
too?
number
For
3,
It
Beatles?
is. That's Yellow
I mean, if you have a
Submarine from the
signed
Beatles movie.
Hey, there's
piece of
Chucky next to
memorabilia
it.
by John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Could possibly top that.
So the thing that can top that
Oh, he
is
has a lot of
this
autographs.
Looks like
Halloween
Michael Myers
poster I
Elvis
have
over on the
here,
right.
which is not only signed by John Carpenter again,
Oh wow.
but is also signed by the Shape himself, Mr. Nick Castle, Sandy Johnson, who played Judith Myers, Nancy Loomis, who
Playboy
played
Playmate.
Annie, PJ Souls, who played Linda, and Charles Cyphers, who played Sheriff Brackett in the original Halloween, all on this one poster.
So if you were to try and buy this item on eBay, I mean, what sort of price tag would that be bringing to have all those signatures on one poster?
Now, I've seen posters
One
like this
pasta.
appear on eBay for around the 1,500 mark.
Jeez, man.
But it also depends on if you have a certain Jamie Lee Curtis on there. Because when she's
Yeah.
on there,
I was gonna say, I thought he's missing Jamie Lee
You
Curtis.
don't have Jamie Lee Curtis.
I definitely don't have Jamie Lee Curtis. I'd love to meet Jamie Lee Curtis one day and add her to this piece, as well as a few other people. But until that point,
I don't
I'll
think
stay
Jamie Lee
dreaming.
Curtis
So
does
one
the
day, man,
conventions. I think that's
One
what
day,
She's
makes
above
that.
it. She's above it, I think.
Yeah,
She just got a star, didn't she?
I think
how many
so. I
conventions do you
mean,
have that
her
you travel
career is still going great.
Those signatures.
Tyler and I just
So,
went to Son of
like
Monster
all the
Palooza, the
autographs
horror
and collections
convention
I have
in
done
Burbank, and
myself by
we
going
did
to
not
these
see Jamie Lee Curtis
conventions,
I mean, but it's a shame because look, there's a space for her signature and everything.
Yeah. Signed. I went to the John Carpenter.
Where did you get those peepers?
To get his autograph.
No, Jeepers Creepers would be a different show.
London,
Jeepers
to get
Creepers.
his autograph. PJ Souls was in America at Texas Frightmare. I mean, keep in mind I live in the UK. And also Charles Cyphers, Nancy Loomis.
PJ Souls, I'm always going to remember her from the Ramones movie Rock and Roll High School. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and see it. She's
the Ramones are in a horror movie.
Rock and Roll High School is it's a really fun sort of silly musical, all using Ramones songs. The Ramones are actors in it. They're terrible. And it's a lot of fun to see. PJ Souls herself really sells it.
Oh, hello.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Man, it kind of scared me.
The shape.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's right, guys.
There he is.
Of course, number one had to be my NAG Studios Michael Myers replica mask. This was made by, like I say, NAG Studios. Nick, we will put him in the description below.
Yeah, these are like customs.
He makes the most accurate.
Look, your Michael won't even look at the camera. He's so jealous.
Ever find. That's what makes this so incredibly special. You've seen this in previous videos before, but for those who don't know, this mask is extremely important to my collection and extremely valuable and rare because it has two.
Shame that rubber does not age well.
On the left, we've got Nick Castle, the shape, Michael Myers from Halloween '78.
Damn, let's go.
And on the right, it's signed by, once again, John Carpenter.
Damn.
Now, I have never seen a mask like this signed by those two guys. It probably exists, but to me, it's absolutely invaluable. And that's what puts it at the number one spot.
So if his house is on fire, his children are going to have to fend for themselves.
That's right.
He's going to be carrying that out.
Okay, guys, that was it. The top
I would put that
Halloween
inside the case, I
items
think.
in my horror collection.
We probably just took it out for
I would
this
think
video.
Even though that was how
I would guess.
I mean, I've had rubber masks that were very, very old, and they just like melt into themselves. They don't age well.
This weekend in the cinema.
Oh,
So those shelves behind them, that glass one's very, very popular with us collector geeks. I have 3 in my game room. The IKEA shelves. They're expensive too now.
Are they?
Detolf. I think they're called, what are they called? Detolf. That's the name of the shelf in IKEA. Detolf.
Oh, wow.
They used to go for 50, and then IKEA realized, all these geeks are buying these to put their figurines in, and I think it's like over 100.
Coming in over and over again. We're gonna jack it up.
Yeah, it's like over $100 now to get one.
All right, look away, everybody. Don't watch the commercial. I love this ad. The best new ad blocker. Yeah, tried it. Thanks anyway. Bought an ad blocker. YouTube figured out how to.
I'm seeing an ad for an ad blocker. Cool.
All right, I like this guy too. So wait a minute. Oh, I see. There's another video, though it is long, so we might want to skip through it. About a guy's got some rare Halloween movies and Michael Myers collectibles, or there's this one where the guy tries to explain to you the timelines. They're both kind of long, so we don't have to watch them. But how you guys feeling?
You know what? I could take or leave. I mean, I think we've kind of covered that ground on our own pretty accurately. Thanks.
There goes the time. Mario. There goes the confusing time.
You know, not only are you right, but we're coming up on 2 hours, so we managed to pad this one into some serious time.
I prefer to think of it as 2 hours of can't miss moments, John.
Ty Lord asks the question: who's hotter, middle-aged Danielle Harris or middle-aged Jamie Lee Curtis?
Damn.
Oh, I got to give it to Jamie Lee always. I think old Jamie Lee is probably hotter than middle-aged Danielle Harris.
I mean, I always go for the cougar, so it's Jamie Lee Curtis.
It's a win-win. Either way.
That's my 2 cents.
Although my joke was always, I'm into cougars, or as other people call them, age-appropriate women.
Age appropriate.
I mean, cougars for me are like, I'm a dirty old man if I go after one of them because they're so much younger than me.
All right, I'm gonna just hit you guys with a couple of questions, and then we'll wrap up the show. These are some questions written by AI. So if the answers that I have here are wrong, by all means tell me. It's AI's fault. It's not mine. In Halloween 4, what color is Michael's stolen mechanic's uniform before it gets dirty? Anybody?
I want to say white.
Is it? Oh yeah. Is it white or blue? I don't remember.
I'm going to give that one to El Tiburon. It is navy blue, not the traditional dark gray / blue gray from the other films.
I thought it was always blue. I didn't know it was dark gray.
What is the name of the child Laurie babysits in the original Halloween besides Tommy Doyle? There's another child.
Tommy. I don't remember the girl's name. The blonde girl? I don't remember.
Little girl.
No, I couldn't.
I just know Tommy, but I don't know the girl.
She takes her friend's girl, right? She take the girl that's being watched by her friend, and that's Lindsay Wallace.
Lindsay Wallace.
Okay, this is, you guys can get this one. Okay, in Halloween 2, what is the specific blood type that Michael is looking to give to his victims via IV?
It's got to be O.
Is it the universal one? Oh, I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah,
sure.
I'll agree with Joe.
I'll give you half credit. Type O negative.
Oh yeah, I gotta get that in there.
All right. This one's dumb. I'm just gonna. What is the name of the radio DJ in Halloween 2018 who interviews Michael's doctor?
Interviews. Oh, I don't remember. The black dude, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's LL Cool J, but character name I can't tell you.
Dana Haynes is the name.
That's a well-named character for the casting. Dana.
This is something you guys would know. Tell me the inscription on Judith Meyer's headstone from the original film.
Ooh.
Here She Lies? Is it Here She Lies?
I'm sorry, no. Give me the name first. What's the name on the headstone?
Is it Judith M.
I just remember her first and last, Judith Myers.
Isn't there a middle name? Is it just
Judith Myers? There was. They're not giving a middle name here, but you could be right about that, Tiburon. Do you remember what year she was born and what year she died?
Okay, but let's do the math. I don't know about what year she's. I'm going to guess she was killed in like 68.
No. You're right about the decade, though.
Okay, then go back far enough.
Right.
Let's get Tiburon a chance.
The date is she was born in 1947, died in 1963.
Okay.
60. Okay.
That's right. It was 15 years later. Yeah.
And the final line, may she rest in peace.
Okay.
In Halloween 2, what floor of the hospital does most of the action take place upon?
I might just guess 4.
I think it was the second floor.
Second floor?
You're right, Joe. Second floor. Who would know?
Otherwise, it'd be too hard to escape.
I mean, it's got to be a jumpable window. Right? Dr. Loomis rents a car in the original Halloween. Do you know what kind of car and what year?
Is it a station wagon? I don't remember.
This one's tough.
Oh yeah, that's when he's like kind of hanging around the neighborhood and trying to keep an eye out. I don't remember what car.
Oh, I'm going to just guess. I don't know if they're looking for a make and model, but I agree with Tiburon. It's a station wagon. I'm going to put it like maybe a 76, 77, year.
You are absolutely right about 77.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's great.
Well done.
What kind of car was it?
1977 Dodge Monaco.
Okay, so it wasn't a station wagon.
That's a tough one.
That's the one that Michael's driving, I think, the station wagon, right?
It was the same one, which is weird.
What song is playing on the radio when Laurie and Annie are driving in the original Halloween?
Don't Fear the Reaper by the Blue Oyster Club.
Oh, good for you, Tiburon.
Boom. Boom.
It's a great song.
It is. It is one of the best, actually. What is the name of the mental patient who escapes alongside Michael in Halloween 2018?
Oh, John Weber.
John. There's that guy that escapes with him? I don't even remember that. No,
He's got a better name than I have. That's true.
I don't know. I have no idea.
His name is Bus Driver Randy.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty crazy.
Bus Driver Randy.
Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. Nah. Okay. What type of mask does Michael briefly wear in Halloween 4 before getting back his signature mask?
He wears like a damn.
Well, it was a hockey mask before he got sued for copyright infringement.
Wasn't it like a mummy mask? Wasn't it like some kind of like wrap or something?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It could be they describe it as a plain white mask.
Yeah, because we saw it in the trailer. He has like it almost looks like a Dark Man or something. Remember the movie?
I
Dark
think
Man?
that's definitely more than close enough to count.
Yeah.
You guys get points. You're working as a team, by the way.
There you go.
I had nothing to do with that answer. That was all Tiburon.
Okay. Oh, this is interesting. You guys could get this. In the original Halloween, Annie smokes. Can you tell us the brand of cigarette?
Oh, jeez.
Damn.
Virginia Slims.
Good guess.
I
Not
never
correct.
smoked, but I don't know. Camel, Marlboro or whatever.
It's Salem. She's smoking Salem cigarettes.
Oh, which actually is kind of cool as far as brand name.
Yeah, I mean, it is Sabrina the Teenage Witch's cat. So,
and Stephen King's Vampire Town, or half of it anyway.
I want to totally tax your brains from the original film. Give me the exact address of the Myers house.
Holy crap. I have no idea. I know it's in Pasadena. Well, it's actually in Pasadena in California. But I don't,
How about
I don't know.
666 Hack'em Up Lane?
And it's in Haddonfield. I don't know the address.
It's in Haddonfield. It is 45 Lambkin Lane.
And at what point did they tell us that? 'Cause I guess it's probably when Loomis is trying to find him, I guess.
It must get mentioned at some point.
But did you know that the house is actually in Pasadena? That home?
I did not know that.
California, yeah.
I mean,
People
that
go take
sense.
pictures there. Yeah.
Is Haddonfield supposed to be in California or
Illinois?
No, it's like in Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois.
Illinois. That's good. That's
well,
good
no
to
wonder.
know.
I mean, I gotta say, I gotta give props to Michael. When he thought he was going to Haddonfield, he's actually going to Pasadena and still found him.
I'm telling you, it's hard to make your way around Pasadena. That's a tricky town.
Yeah.
We got some weird one-way streets. It is a tricky town, dude. In the original Halloween, Tommy Doyle is reading a magazine when Laurie arrives. Do you remember what that magazine was?
Damn.
I'm going to guess like something like Scary Stories or something. It was like a horror comic.
You're along the right lines, but
Tales from the Crypt? Was it Tales from the Crypt?
Nope. It is a magazine about horror.
Fangoria?
It is not Fangoria. It's Famous Monsters of Filmland.
Oh, right.
I'm really glad that question didn't totally suck, because that's a good question. Let's end it there. You guys did a good job.
We got some right. We got some.
I compared to my past performances on the Retro Wave, man, I was brilliant.
Oh yeah, he's right
about
about
a couple
that.
of them right.
Raphael's right about that. Yeah.
I love that they're shooting in Pasadena, so they imported a bunch of autumn leaves, as Raphael points out, and then they're throwing them. But yeah, the grass has to die in order for it to be a place that actually gets snow.
I'm surprised they didn't like paint it brown or something.
John Carpenter knew that would be too expensive, so he was like, "No, we just rented this house. We're not going to ruin their lawn."
Yeah, you could get a bunch of dogs and cats to pee all over it and kill it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be hard to do out here in California as well. Say, folks, if you are with us next week, we will be bringing back Battle of the Retro Stars. This is the third one. And of course, we're bringing back our resident Network Stars sports analyst, Barry the K. Corbman. Will be joining me and Joe. And this one, I suspect, Commander Joe, this one has even more jiggle and more wet, clingy clothing than the previous two.
Well, I don't want to be accused of stuffing the ballot box in terms of putting the ladies on here. I'm not going to guarantee they're all in this episode, but you know what? They all fit the spirit of Battle of the Network Stars. But there is no shortage of attractive women and men. I mean, you and I there, just so everybody knows, we did work out and get the physique of Tom Selleck, both of us. That's why we're wearing the same swimsuit.
Damn, Tom Selleck. Bringing out the old man carpet. In the booth, in the dunk booth next to Joe Townsend, is that Catherine Bach?
That's Catherine Bach. And of course, we got Heather Locklear in the kayak with you, John.
Yeah, that kayak would totally be floating with me in it. Although wood does float.
Yes. John has his own built-in flotation device.
It's called my tummy. That's of course 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because next week is the time change, correct?
It'll still be at 5, but yeah, just be aware to set your clocks back next Saturday.
Yeah.
So you don't miss out.
That's coming. So daytime daylight savings is coming to an end. Good. I hate it. Let's never do it again. 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. out here on the Pacific Coast. And let's also remind you that next Saturday is the debut of Joe's solo show, Joe Townsend's Dread Time Stories, which I'm very proud to say is part of the Weber Internet Thingy empire. I don't know what to call it.
Network. It's be like a network.
It's a network.
Yeah. Yes, because and I'm very proud that to be part of Weber Internet Thingy. You can make of that statement what you will. But I'm very excited about this. John, of course, he won't be on camera with me. It is me in front of the camera, biting my nails at first. But John's going to be running the show from behind the scenes, and I'll be reading you the first of hopefully many Dread Time stories, as I say, to darken your dreams.
It will be Tylord. Tylord, are you a Instagram guy? Where would I find you to be friends?
He's at Tylord79, I believe.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Okay, I'll make sure that it gets out on Instagram, and I tag you on that so that you get to see that too. This show will be on Weber Internet Thingy on to answer your question directly. Do I have a Weber? Yeah, there we go.
I will point out also that there you go. Yeah. I will point out also this is a live show, just to make that clear, because we do what we do. Obviously, invite and welcome everyone to watch it live and to comment like we do on the other Weber Internet Thingy productions. Yeah, and whatever you want to ask of me or comment on, we will definitely respond to probably at the end of the reading. But please join us and be part of that.
We would love that. Of course, we're on a different channel right now, Retro Rangers HQ on YouTube. So if you would subscribe to both, we would be so very appreciative. But I feel embarrassed asking. So it's actually been a big problem promoting my shows. I'm too embarrassed to ask people to watch them.
Well, you got to get over that.
So yeah, Retro Rangers HQ, we're on right now. Weber Internet Thingy for Dread Time Stories, and of course on Thursday, Halloween night, there will be the 2-hour extravaganza starting at 6:30 here on the Pacific Coast. About a half-hour pre-show, then 7 p.m. promptly, we will begin playing War of the Worlds, the actual broadcast from 1938, in which Orson Welles tried to convince people that New York City and the tri-state area we're being invaded by Martians. It's
well, these people certainly believed it. Look at them panicking.
And what else can we tell you? I guess that's it. I guess
yeah, I would just add again, it's an extra supersized episode in that we have a good friend of the show is Mike Sauter, lending his expertise and information both in a pre-show and the post-show. So I would encourage everyone to sign right on at 6:30 PST, 9:30 EST for the pre-show, and just stay right through the main show and on to the post-show. It will be 2 hours of your evening well spent, I assure you.
This is the kind of Halloween programming I have always wanted to do. This is the first year we're doing it. I love listening to old time radio on Halloween because old time radio horror it gets inside your head. It lives in your head. I just love that. I love how kind of inescapable your reactions are as you're hearing it. Let's also talk about Retro Tiburon. You got to look him up on the socials at Retro Tiburon, all one word. Tiburon, you got anything coming up really soon that the folks are going to want to see?
Just do gaming live streams right here. Retro Tiburon, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We've been playing every Friday. We're playing a different horror game. So we played Killer Clowns from Outer Space last Friday. We've done Evil Dead. We're going to do Evil Dead next Friday. I do a podcast too. All here. I've had John and Joe on there talking horror movies and sci-fi movies. The Professor Tylord in the chat's a regular on there because he's the professor for a reason.
All right.
He sure is.
Yeah, and can I show this picture? I know Tyler gets a kick out of this. I met John Carpenter once.
Oh my God, let me see.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's amazing.
And Tyler gets a kick out of this picture because look at the level of excitement in John Carpenter's face of meeting this 30-year-old Mark here. He's jumping out of his skin, guys. Look.
You were probably like the 200th guy that day. I'm sure you're a very charming guy, so I'm sure he liked you. But
you probably reinvigorated him, Mario.
He just needed to give me a chance and get to know me. That's all.
Then you've been besties forever.
And may I just offer a personal thanks to both Tiburon's Michael Dahl and his shirt for appearing tonight also.
Yeah, we've got some really primo stuff over there. Honestly, I hope you didn't feel jealous, Tiburon, that I showed that other guy with his stuff, because your stuff is awesome too.
I mean, that was very impressive. But come on, the doll.
Yeah, look, he looks like Bill Maher.
He's cute.
He has what's that dude? That Reverend guy? He has like that guy's hair. It's pretty.
So thanks so much for joining us. Look at us. I was worried the show was going to come up short. Never a problem with me and my friends.
Didn't I tell you, John? Said that's not going to be a problem.
This is classic Retro Rangers, almost 2.5 hours. But we're ready to pull the plug on this one. Thank you so much for watching this with us. Be sure to hit us up in the comments and like and subscribe the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. This, of course, being Retro Rangers HQ. And guys, that's it. Any last words for because once we come back, Halloween's done.
Oh, I just to thank El Tiburon, and I look forward to working with you again very soon.
Yeah, likewise. All I have to say is I shot him 6 times. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, my sign off is gonna be 4 more days till Halloween. Halloween.
Thank you, John, for putting that song in my head for the next week.
I love it.
Really.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later, everybody.
Grab your popcorn, warm up your TV. Captain John, Commander Joe got something to see. We're all back in time to the golden past with the Retro Rangers. Oh, it's such a blast. We're flying high with the Retro Ranger. Give it a try, and don't be a stranger, Ranger. Strap yourself in for a fun-filled flight. Retro Rangers are flying tonight.